We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
We've also been getting strange reports of something moving.
It's alive! A gigantic beast!
I mean, it must be 300 feet tall.
Oh god, it's gargantuan! Yes!
Welcome, beautiful creatures of the internet. This is Chris.
I'm Sarah McLachlan.
That's what you are.
Yes.
That's what you always are.
I have always been Sarah McLachlan. This entire time it has been a ruse. You have fallen for my dastardly trick.
Alright, speaking of dastardly and all that stuff, I had a great weekend.
Yes. You and Anthony of Something Ghoulish fame have gone to a Floridian horror convention called Spooky Empire.
I got some cool stuff. I got War of the Gargantuas on DVD. I got Frankenstein Conquers the World. I got Pulgasari. Future episode, I promise you. I know you guys really want to see Pulgasari covered by every Kaiju member.
Because it's just such, like, it's like having, I'm trying to think of, like, an appropriate, like, comparison. I guess it's like having a podcast where you talk about, like,
bad movies, creepy
things. Eventually you're gonna cover things like cults, like Jonestown and Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain things within certain communities that are like, it's like the one huge, like, really creepy, like, dark side or dark moment in, like, the community.
Yeah.
That it just, but kind of like, it almost like overshadows certain things and it's like just like infamous.
Yeah. So, fun. I also got a new Godzilla lanyard. Pretty awesome. Saw some cool stuff there. Some cool monster cosplayers. One thing I gotta say was really awesome. Someone was selling an original theater-used poster for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1975. No, 74. It was 74.
75.
And it was
don't get like me. I'm the one who's bad with dates here.
Yeah. But yeah, fun weekend. So let's start things off with this week's Kai News.
Kai News!
First things up, the director of Kong Skull Island, Jordan Vogt Roberts, teaming up with Michael B. Jordan to make a new monster movie. We don't know
a completely original monster movie?
Completely original.
A true new American kaiju.
Just monster movie. We don't know if it's going to be a kaiju or not, but hey, we all love monsters of any size. So
we don't no monster body shaming.
Nope.
All kaiju are beautiful.
And like, I'm really hoping for this because like I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island. I actually think
absolutely, yeah.
Vogt Roberts' style was really cool.
I hope it'll be like another like kind of like period piece, like maybe it's like in the 90s or something.
We know it takes place in Detroit, and Detroit's going to be a major factor because Jordan grew up in Detroit, so it's going to be a major factor for him.
That'll be interesting.
And we got Michael B. Jordan, and like I'll watch anything with Michael B. Jordan
because he's kind of fucking awesome.
Like, watch Creed, watch Black Panther,
watch Genlock.
Yeah, Genlock, the big Rusty's mecha anime. Check it out. He's fantastic in it. Like, seriously, I'll watch anything with Michael B. Jordan.
And he's also a huge nerd, so let's support our huge nerd fellows.
Alright, speaking of huge nerds, we're going to move to some King of the Monster news.
Alrighty.
So, several news sources had a set visit to the King of the Monster set, and interviewed, Michael Dougherty and the cast, and we learned some things.
Yes.
We're going to get
we found out that his name's actually pronounced Michael Daughtry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So
that joke fell flat.
We're going to get the original Gojira roar somewhere in the film.
Well, that'll be cute. That'll be cute to look out for. It'll be like looking for the Wilhelm scream in like any other film ever made.
Yeah, and one of the bigger ones. So this is from Joe Blow Films, and apparently during the set visit there was like a monitor of screens and it had names of the other Titans.
Huh.
So I'll tell you the names: Bahamut. It says Typhoon, but I think it's a typo, so it might be Typhon from Greek mythology.
That'll be interesting.
Abaddon.
Abaddon's like an angel in like old scripture, I believe.
The Bunyip, which is a Australian monster.
I've heard of the Bunyip.
Methuselah, or I can never pronounce it. I can never pronounce anything.
Methuselah or Methuselah?
Apparently, it's the oldest person
who was... heard of that.
Apparently, according to the Bible, it's this ancient wise sage who lived to be like 900 years old.
I mean, if you read the Bible, like, technically Adam lived to be like 900 years old.
True.
And, like, Moses lived to be like 400 or something like that.
Yeah, and Kong's on the monitor.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Kong, they're keeping an eye on. So my thing is just like, now, which names of the 2 Titans we saw in the trailer could they be?
See, like, my thing is, like, that's a lot of monsters to juggle.
Well, again, it's just a monitor. It's just, Monarch sites and all that stuff. So they're just like, it's not just, the main 4. There's others, but maybe 2 of them wake up and they're like, pissed off.
Yeah, well, as monsters tend to be.
Yeah. So yeah, we at least got some names for what could...
Unless you're King Caesar, then you wake up and you get your ass kicked.
I kind of hope the mound one is called Bunyip, because I don't know why Bunyip's such a fun name to say.
Bunyip.
The Bunyip. So
it kind of reminds me, like, there are a lot of, like, mythological figures in, like old town folklore.
Yeah.
Like, that have, like, really silly names. Like, the Bunyip is a silly one, but there's this cat monster from, like, UK folklore called the Barghest.
I've heard about the Barghest.
And, like, the Barghest is, like, just such a strange name. And, like, every time I hear all I can think of is, like, a garbage barge.
Yeah.
So it's, like, I just imagine Torterra from Pokemon, but instead of having, like, a tree and rocks on his back and looking like a moving, like, biome, he's just, like, a giant dumpster with legs.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got some names for some of the monsters, King of Monsters.
I mean, certainly if, like...
And Michael Dougherty had said something that I'm just like, oh, whatever he says, it feels like in the Kaiju community, whatever he says, everyone's just like...
It's just like whenever he opens his fucking mouth, the Kaiju community throws a party.
Yeah, it's like that one scene from Bugs Bunny where he just, he does the music and instantly claps.
When Bugs is like a conductor, all he does is raise his hand and the crowd's just like...
Yeah. He says the best comparison for King of Monsters, if Gareth Edwards did Alien for G14... King of Monsters is aliens. So probably going to be way more action-packed, way more monsters, way more fucking awesome.
Well, I'm pumped.
Now, there's one thing, though.
Yeah.
I hope Kong versus Godzilla is in Alien 3.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Is it true that there was, like, Michael Dougherty, like, was quoted as saying he really, really wants to make Godzilla versus the Avengers?
Okay.
Yeah?
No. Fake Kaiju news.
Right,
no, that's
a misquote?
No. It was a joke. That's all it was.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Okay.
A joke. Because he tweeted out saying, every movie would be better if you add Godzilla. Guarantee it.
Uh-huh.
And then someone said, like, Godzilla vs. the Avengers, like...
Because that was a comic. Because there was that Marvel Godzilla run.
Which we could cover very soon.
Ooh.
But yeah, like, no. Fake Kaiju news. Shut up. Stop it.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. It was a joke. Stop getting clicks for stupid shit like this. This pisses me
Stop
off.
spamming my DMs!
Stop saying Destroy is confirmed for Kong vs. Godzilla. Did not say anything.
It's not true.
Stop. Anywhoozy. Let's end this week's Kai News.
Yes.
Because, again, we're trying to avoid episode 2's...
a debacle of nearly 2 hours of ranting.
Yeah. So, Ava's release date on Netflix confirmed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've known that for a bit.
But no, we actually have a date.
Okay.
June 21st. And it's funny because, like, they said Ava will be on Netflix in spring. June 21st is the last day of spring.
I feel like you're going to be watching it in the Gendo pose.
I mean, I feel like that whole thing, like, last day of spring is a Gendo move. Seriously, like, Gendo is, like, he's like, a lot of people say, oh, he's just, like, this nihilistic guy, or he's a weirdo. Like, well, he is confirmed a weirdo. According to... No, do you know what...
No, I'm sorry. I literally, the way you put that, all I could imagine was, like, if you go on the official Ava wiki, and it's like, oh, Gendo Ikari.
No, Hideki Anno, I meant.
No, I know, but, like, I was talking about Gendo. Yeah. So I just imagine you go on, like, the Ava wiki, and it's like, Gendo Ikari. It's like, age, 47, occupation, weirdo.
Yeah, but no, like... That whole, like, last day of spring feels like an Anno pull.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it, like, because it's Ava, and, like, how, like, without spoilers for any of you guys who haven't seen it, I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but because of, like, the themes it covers, and, like, some of the things that happen late in the series, I like, that whole idea of spring being, like, the season of, like, new beginnings, rebirth, stuff like that does very much sound like something Anno would do.
Hell, not only we're getting the original series on Netflix, but we're also getting the 2 films, Death and Rebirth and End of Ava.
It is going to be extremely interesting when we actually cover Ava on our DanchuCast, because here's a little foreshadowing. I'm not a fan. Chris is a huge fan. So I think it'll be very fascinating when me and him sit down, watch it together.
Yeah.
Because the first time I ever watched Ava, it was by myself. Yes, it was borrowing Chris's DVDs.
And it's the rebuild film. Not the original series, but the rebuild film.
Still. My thing with the Ava franchise is, like, I'll do it really super short. You know what? Fuck it. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Please, yeah.
Yeah, I'll save my thoughts for when we're actually discussing it. We have other things to talk about today.
Yeah. So, the only other bit of kaiju news I do want to talk about, apparently Asylum has announced they're doing a kaiju movie called Monster Island. And I'm just like...
Is this their response to, like, Kong's Skull Island?
More or less King of the Monsters, I'm thinking.
Oh, God. I'm just imagining their cheap, shitty CG. Budget.
Especially, like, if you've seen Atlanta.
Oh, wait, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Cheap, shitty CG.
Oh.
We'll get into that in a bit.
One more thing before we move on.
To Is This a Kaiju?
I got to give a Patreon shout out to Dave Hawkins.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, and if you want to show your support for Gargantucast, you can check out our Patreon page.
And follow us on Twitter.
Yes. So, let's go for this week's Is This a Kaiju?
Mm-hmm.
Shukaku from Naruto.
Shukaku? The one-tailed beast.
Yeah. I specifically chose Shukaku because
of how he acts. Because of what he's like. If we're judging Shukaku sheerly based on what he's like at the end of the Chunin exams, like when he takes over Gaara and he's going like fucking apeshit,
yeah.
You know what, without hesitation, I can give it a straight yes.
Damn.
I think Shukaku is a monster. He is a kaiju. He's fucking shit up. He's angry. He's violent. He's a monster. I think Shukaku, I give him a yes.
Would you explain to the audience who doesn't know who the fuck Shukaku is?
Okay, to explain Shukaku without spoilers, for, like, some super, like, Naruto spoilers. Because at the very beginning of Naruto, it is explained that there are 9 creatures known as the Tailed Demons, or the Tailed Beasts, which are very, very, very immensely powerful monsters that progressively get stronger the more tails they have. So it goes from 1 to 9. Of course, any of you who know, like, a little bit of Japanese folklore, you probably have heard of, like, the Kitsune Demon or the 9-tailed fox. That's Kurama, the beast that's sealed inside Naruto himself. But there's another character named Gaara we meet later, who has the one-tailed beast sealed inside him. Now, just because Kurama is the strongest, that doesn't mean that, like, Naruto has, like, a strong grip of using that power at the time of the fight. So it's like, even though Kurama is non-debatably, he is more powerful than Shukaku, it's not like there's not a lot of great amount of control.
Yeah.
And, like, because Kurama's trapped inside Naruto and he can't really, like, release all of his strength. But Gaara, his relationship with Shukaku is much more complicated. Gaara is, like, tortured because he can't sleep. If he loses consciousness or goes to sleep, Shukaku takes over his body. And Shukaku is, like, a gigantic, traditional kaiju size. He's, like, maybe, like, 50 to 100 feet tall. He's fucking huge. Imagine a gigantic, monstrous, bipedal, angry raccoon made of sand.
Yeah. So it's not even like debate. I'm
not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna give it a solid stamp of yes. Shukaku, right. The one-tailed beast from Naruto, I'm gonna say is a kaiju.
This was like the easiest one.
Yeah, I feel like the tailed beasts, I think they're all kaijus.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, like, they fit the description.
Strange beasts.
Strange giant monsters.
Yeah. So even Kurama?
At the beginning, definitely. Like, dude, one of the first things you see in Naruto when you first start the series is Kurama wrecking shit.
Yeah, true.
Like, going ham, just wrecking stuff up and shooting lasers out of his mouth.
Yeah. All right, so this wraps up this week's Is This a Kaiju? You can debate about it on
Twitter when the poll is posted.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to do our very first Patreon-voted review for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, quick commercial break, and I just want to tell you guys about the official Gargantucast Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, you can show your support and give reward along the way, such as artwork by the official Gargantucast artist KaijuZilla98, votes for the next episode topic, and even merch. Yes, we even have merch, like any good podcast should. And any show support is much appreciated, because Gargantucast is independent, which means I gotta pay for everything. from my equipment to programs to research materials such as movies, figures, and books, because we all know the kaiju life is very expensive. So, once this episode is over, please check out the official Gargantua Can Patreon page in the link down below if you're on YouTube, or you can look it up on Patreon if you're listening to wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we're back, everyone. Woo! So, I'm going to have one thing I'm going to say about this movie, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Yep.
First exposure to Power Rangers.
This was your first ever exposure to Power Rangers?
Yes.
Huh.
I remember watching...
What a place to start.
Yeah, it's because I had the VHS as a kid. It was like my first thing ever of Power Rangers. And I was just like, as a kid, I was like, this is awesome.
For me, it was just watching like reruns on TV.
Yeah, that's how I learned it was a show, very, very soon after that. But this is my first exposure to Power Rangers. So for a long time, this movie had a very special place in my heart. Until we watched it a few nights ago for this review. And
to summarize this film in a single sentence, this film aged like meat in the sun.
It is 90s in some of the worst ways.
It has aged so poorly. And okay,
Power Rangers, it has...
Do you mind if I blow my load super early about the CGI?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's get it out of the way while we're ahead.
Right now, if there is one thing that immediately dates this film, it is the CG. Because one of the things, all the Zords are CG.
No practical effects aside from like miniature sets.
A couple shots, there are like actual miniatures of the Zords, but they're only for a few seconds. For the most part, all the Zords and the robots that Ivan Ooze makes, they're CG.
Yeah.
And it looks like shit.
This is like, looks worse than like the Mortal Kombat live action movies.
It looks terrible. And okay, you're not gonna shit on me for dates because I actually looked this up.
Okay, no problem.
I looked this up. This movie came out in 1995.
Yes.
This film came out in 1995. Now you think, oh, it's the mid-90s. All CGI looked terrible. Counterpoint.
Jurassic Park came out 2 years before.
No, you know what came out even earlier? Terminator 2 came out in 91.
Yeah.
And the CG for the T-1000 and Terminator 1 still looks presentable and decent today.
And to be fair, they had a higher budget. But here's the thing. This movie had a budget... hold on, I pulled up some details about this film because I want to talk about some of this behind-the-scene nonsense.
Like, budgetary whatever. Like, it just
15 million.
50 million.
15.
Okay, I'm sorry. But, like, even whatever the budget... It looks awful.
No.
Even for the time, it looked awful.
No, the budget's so low, it probably would have been cheaper just to use...
Just use suits. Or, like, for, like, Tommy's jet in this.
Yeah.
Just use a fucking puppet.
Yeah.
It looks awful. Oh my god, when we... Like, before you see the Zords, you see Ivan's robots. And they look fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They're like...
way too shiny.
You know what they look like? Have you ever seen that really shitty cartoon from the 90s, Dinosaurs?
It's basically dinosaur Transformers.
Yeah, dinosaur Transformers, but imagine like it's really cheap, shitty looking plastic models covered in chrome spray paint.
Yeah.
It looks like crap. It's really... I remember when we were sitting on that couch watching this movie... I was like cringing so hard, I felt like my entire body was about to like retract in on itself.
This is some, like, Asylum has done better CG than this.
Like Atlantic Rim's CG looks better than this.
And, so let's summarize the movie in one sense.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
This is basically an extended episode of Power Rangers. It follows the same beats.
In a good way and in a bad way.
Actually, I just say it's in a bad way.
Really?
This isn't like an important episode like, Green with Evil or, the creation of the White Tiger Ranger. This is like nothing. The Rangers are the exact same from beginning to end.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of progression.
Yeah, like
for a movie, there's not a lot other than a couple extra fight scenes and some more stuff.
Yeah, like it's like the basic premise is we got the Power Rangers doing Power Ranger stuff, like doing their like 300 charitable event.
Yeah, like having like I mean, I want to know when these teenagers
fucking graduated.
No, not just they graduate in this episode in the movie.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they did.
They don't.
They were, dude. Do you remember what happened?
No, they got a... They're celebrating.
Dude, they had like graduation caps on.
Oh, I
they
forgot.
They skydived directly onto the graduation stage.
I forgot that.
The opening scene is the Rangers, Bulk and Skull skydiving.
So another
and the
reason
Rangers skydive directly onto into the graduation ceremony.
I mean, this film's non-canon anyway, so what's the fucking point of graduating them?
Yeah, but like my stance with it is, so you messed that up. I guess you were fucking hitting the bong when that happened.
No, I just don't care. That skydiving scene is just so stupid.
But like the situation with the movie is it very much kind of just feels like stuff happening.
It really is. Like
there's not a lot of weight to what happens.
Especially the fact some really important shit happens, but we don't care. Like, so basically the Power Rangers learn that Rita and Zed are doing this, like, ooh, we were summoning a new evil that Zordon has sealed away for like the 500 billionth time, which Zordon should just fucking kill these villains. Because it seems like they always come back to bite him in the ass.
Well, it's also just like, why did he seal it on Earth?
Seriously, there's a moon. At least you seal
it away where nobody lives.
Like with Rita, he sealed her on the moon. Fine. Sure, why not? But you had the main villain, Ivan Ooze, played by Paul Freeman, who is like one of the main villains from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
He's like Indy's foil in the first movie.
Yeah. And like, I will say one thing. Ivan Ooze is like the best thing in his entire movie.
Oh, absolutely. He is a hammy, scene-eating, like, scenery-chewing motherfucker.
He's like Galactus when it comes to the scenery. He just absorbs
he just swallows the scene whole. Like, you can't not... Like, he's so fucking over the top. He's wearing, like, all purple in, like, every scene.
Yeah.
He looks ridiculous, but he's got, like, this... He's got, like, a horn beard...
Yeah.
He's got, like, a fucking, like, stereotypical pointy devil beard, but it's, like, two spikes, like, intertwine each other.
And he was a big threat, because he actually, nearly killed Zordon and got into the command center.
Yeah.
Which is, like, should be a big deal, but one thing that really annoys me is, like, for a Power Rangers movie, we barely see the Power Rangers. Like, we got, like, only, like, one fight scene.
We get, like, 2 fight scenes when they're...
morphed as the Rangers.
For the rest of it, they're either... in street clothes,
or those ninja outfits.
Or they're in, like, ninja outfits later when they're on that Phaedos alien planet.
So basically, a lot of elements from this series comes from Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger, which is basically a ninja-themed Sentai, which is a main element that was used for the Season 3 of Power Rangers. Which, by the way, this film takes place between Season 2 and 3 of Power Rangers. So instead of, Jason, Zach, and Trini... We
got Rocky,
Adam, and Aisha for the Red, Black, and Yellow Rangers.
Fun fact that usually it's Chris that shocks me with interesting behind-the-scenes facts, but I actually blew Chris away with one of them.
You did?
Yeah, the actor who plays the Black Ranger in this movie would later be the voice of Ichigo Kurosaki in the English dub of Bleach.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
Yeah, like, I thought that was really interesting.
But, the thing about the Rangers, like, we had some really cool upgrades to suit where they're more armor-like.
Yeah, they look... Okay, I will give this film one thing. If it's anything, like, yeah, Power Rangers silly, but we fucking love Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And this movie has some badass-looking Ranger suits.
Some of the best-looking suits in terms of just the classic... Like, I actually say, I wish they would have went with this direction for the 2016 film? Was it 16 or 17?
I think I'm pretty sure it was 16.
Yeah.
We'll get to that film eventually. And, like, I want to promise our fans one thing. Something I'm super excited for. We're not just going to cover Power Rangers movies. There will be episodes where we just cover an entire Power Rangers season.
It's going to take time, because, we got to watch, like, a ton of episodes.
Yeah, but, like, still, it's something we want to do, because Power Rangers and Super Sentai in general is a huge... part of the Tokusatsu Kaiju fandom.
Yeah.
So we'll probably put a Patreon vote out. And just list, like, here's a bunch of different Power Rangers series. What do you want us to cover first?
Yeah.
We also might do original, like, Sentai series if the plot differences are super fucking different.
Some of them are, like, a lot of them are.
The original Megaforce, the one where they look like pirates, I've heard the Megaforce's plot and the original Sentai that they are based on...
completely different.
Nothing. 100%. They're not even fucking close.
Yeah.
So we might do that original Sentai series and the Power Rangers series.
Speaking of Sentai series, this movie has a record for the first Power Ranger project to not use Sentai footage of any kind. And
admirable, but
you could have called Toei to at least borrow
some Zords.
Borrow the Zords look like, again. I want to end it right here. We'll talk about the finale eventually, but just saying right now, the Zords are awful.
Yeah, they're bad.
But so
even the Megazord looks like ass.
Yeah, especially
and the Megazord's one of the coolest things about Power Rangers.
And I showed you what the Kaku Ranger Megazord looks like.
It's cool.
And we do see it in Season 3 of Power Rangers, and it looks cool.
But yeah, this looks like ass.
And,
all right, so going back to the plot.
So basically, Ivan Ooze awakens, attacks the Rangers with his goo clones.
Yeah, his version of the putties. I don't think they're really given a name.
They're not. I mean,
but they're goopy. They're goopy purple predators.
Yeah, and the Rangers take care of them with some really. They changed the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the Aisha has was it a taser, or no? It was Billy who had the taser.
Billy had this weird grappling hook taser thing he used. It was really strange.
And we got Sabo, but he barely did anything. Saba.
Yeah. Sabo is from One Piece.
Yeah. Saba appeared, but he barely did anything. Didn't even talk.
He doesn't talk. He shoots a laser and he flies around for 5 seconds, and then the Rangers get demorphed.
And the fighting choreography was good, but one thing that was obnoxious was the sound effects.
Oh, yeah. We are used to, because Power Rangers helmets can't emote.
Yes.
Yes, they have lips and they have the visors and everything, but they don't move. They're helmets. And we're used to, they can't emote. So they have to be very mobile and move their arms around. They have to emote by their movements.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And we've accepted that as Power Rangers fans. But normally it's just, they're doing the poses, they do the things. But in this one, Chris, help me out here. Fucking, anytime the Power Rangers are doing their poses and moving around, it adds these whooshy, wind sound effects,
Yeah, it almost feels like this is a parody of Power Rangers than an actual.
It feels really silly.
I liked this film when I was younger, but this film
it has not aged well.
I'm sorry. This is how we're going to start talking about Power Rangers, but you got to start somewhere.
I mean, what was the first film we talked about? Godzilla.
True, but the thing about
everything has a terrible start, and then we get to the better ones later.
Yeah, and so they lose their Rangers when Zordon gets nearly killed
by Ivan Ooze.
Can
we talk about the scene where Ooze is destroying the base?
It's my favorite scene in the entire movie.
It's hilarious.
So
because we just wanted it to go on for 5 minutes because Ivan Ooze is berating Zordon. He's how dare you lock me away? I missed I've been locked away for 5,000 years,
and I missed out all the awfulness from the world.
He's so hammy. He's I am evil and I love evil. I love seeing evil, horrible, terrible things. And he's shooting lasers and blowing stuff up in the base and beating up Alpha. I forgot his name for a second. And he electrocutes Alpha and throws him across the room, and he's blowing shit up. And he's I missed what the hell was he?
I missed so many awful things. The Black Plague. The Spanish Inquisition,
the Brady Bunch reunion,
and we got really fucked up.
It's I missed Stalinist Russia. I missed the Holocaust.
Yeah,
the Manson murders. We just wanted him to go on for 10 minutes listing just horrible things.
Yeah. So the Rangers are we gotta find the ultimate source of power, which is 30 of that in the Power Rangers franchise.
Yeah, it's we have to find the
ultimate power,
the great power,
the great power.
Let's not beat around the bush. They need to find the MacGuffin.
This film's MacGuffin.
It's a MacGuffin quest.
Yeah. So they go to this planet where we see fucking discount Xena the Princess Warrior.
Yeah. Xena the Warrior Princess and her weird whistling kendo sticks.
Yeah, so Ooze had other minions which are actually from the Sentai, the Tengu.
Yeah, the Tengu.
Which are they are from the original Sentai, I believe. And they were cool looking for grunts. They're a lot more threatening than the putties.
Yeah, they're a lot worse than Rita's putties.
Yeah.
But I will say they look dumb as fuck when they're flying.
Oh yeah,
because their wings, because it's just dudes in suits.
Yeah. And
don't have anything to extend their arms. Wings.
Yeah.
Their wings look super stumpy.
Yeah.
I get that, it's full human arm length, but, it looks super weird when they're flying.
It looks like something from, some metal band where, someone has, a cape and he's, looks like he's supposed to be flying.
Imagine, look at, a Danny Sex Bang, Ninja Sex Party music video. Imagine Danny taking the corners of his cape and just, flapping his arms around. He's using that to fly.
Yeah.
It looks really awkward and dumpy.
And, the Tegus, they appeared in, one fight scene, which is demorphed, so it's not even that visually interesting. And they were killed off when they come back.
I think unmorphed fight scenes can be cool if the Rangers have powers even when they're unmorphed.
Yeah, but they don't in this movie.
Yeah, they're just kids.
Yeah,
and well, hey, at least it's well choreographed.
It was. Like, I will say the stunt work in this film is actually really good.
Like, even though they're unmorphed for most of the fights, it's the choreography is pretty good.
But yeah, so we got some really good stunt choreography. I mean, a lot of the members of the Power Rangers know stunt work of some kind.
Yes.
One thing I gotta say, so the main Kaiju Ranger influences the ninja garbs.
Yes.
And they look pretty cool.
When the Rangers are with Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
And she is like, she assigns them like new animals.
Yeah.
To like go on a quest to go get the great power so they can gain access to the morphing grid and morph again.
Rocky got the ape, Tommy got the falcon, Aisha got the bear, Adam got the frog, Kimberly got the crane, right?
Yes, the crane, yes.
And did I say Billy already? Billy got the wolf.
Billy got the wolf, yes.
Yeah. And it's like, cool. And then I'll explain later when we talk about the final fight in this film. But we got, like, they're in there and they're like, oh, why the frog? And we got that infamous scene is like, you know,
the frog and the prince.
Yeah.
La-di-da.
I really wish they did, like, the explanation from the original Kaiju Ranger.
Yeah, like, because in Japanese mythology, a frog is one of the founders of ninjutsu.
Yeah.
I mean, even fucking, like, is that why you picked Naruto?
No, but it really helps.
Oh my god, coincidences! Like, is that why? Oh my god, that had to be. Oh my god, that had to be subconscious.
That I don't know.
Like, subconsciously, you picked Shukaku from Naruto because Naruto on the brain, and Naruto becomes a Toad Sage in Naruto.
Yeah.
Like he's a frog ninja.
Yeah.
And he summons frog spirits to fight with him. Fucking goddamn! Wow, that lines up like super well. I almost don't believe you that wasn't intentional.
No, legit. Shukaku was a last minute choice, honestly.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. That had to be like subconscious.
Maybe. But one scene that was pretty cool was when the Ninja Rangers were fighting that one dinosaur puppet, that skeleton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
it's a cool looking dinosaur,
and at least it's practical.
Yeah. It looked cool.
And the Rangers were kind of smart, like it was like a puzzle boss.
Yeah, it's like every time they hit it, it just put itself back together, and they needed to like find the right bone to hit.
Speaking of practical effects, can we just say Lord Zed looked fucking awesome in this film for as little as we saw of him?
Yeah, for as little as Lord Zed was, because it's kind of like Zed and Rita show up to resurrect Ivan to like get him out of the hole.
Ivan took over because
then he puts Rita and Zed in a snow globe.
Yeah, but like speaking of another practical effect, what the fuck was that minion pig? He never appeared in Power Rangers until this movie.
Yeah, they just kind of made him up. Did you notice he was wearing a monocle?
Why? Like he's not even smart. He's like an idiot.
Well, I think that's supposed to be the joke. The idea that he's like a gross, like, warthog, but he's wearing, like, a monocle, and it's the idea of pigs are seen as, like, low class and dirty.
I guess.
But, like, the monocle is, like, a symbol of wealth.
I guess. I just wish they had, like, Swat and Babu from Power Rangers.
Or just have Goldar, because at least Goldar's cool.
Goldar looked really cool in this movie.
Goldar, with a fresh coat of paint, he looked pretty great. It's too bad he doesn't do a goddamn thing the entire
Seriously,
movie. Okay, so Ivan puts Zeta and Red in a snow globe.
You mean
yes, I know what I said.
Yeah.
He puts Rita and Zed in a snow globe,
and
then he keeps Goldar and the Pigman. Why?
I guess he needed minions, and they're available.
He needs minions, but he doesn't make them do anything.
And he can make his own minions.
But he basically keeps Goldar around as a hype man.
Another thing that was completely
to be honest, it's kind of hilarious to see Goldar just being a hype man.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just expecting, like, with Goldar just kind of, like, floating around behind Ivan's shoulder, I'm just expecting Ivan to start dropping some fucking sick, nasty beats.
Yeah. Like,
he's just about to start ripping ass and, like, break the, like, Power Rangers down with his fire lyrics.
Another thing about this movie that was completely pointless, Ivan Ooze taking over the parents' minds.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, he needed someone to dig up his giant, fake-ass looking monsters.
Why didn't he just have his goo guys do it?
Seriously, we don't know the limit how many goo guys he can make, so why not? I guess...
We don't think the goo monsters get a name, so we're just calling them, like, goo guys.
Though I have a reason why we needed one. That one irrelevant kid in the subplot.
Yeah.
Like,
we needed a reason for him to be around.
Seriously, like, that was the thing in the 90s. Like, we already got the Power Rangers. We need
some superfluous kid character. So, like, oh, the kids can feel like they can be heroes. Well, it's like... The Power Rangers are already, like, teenagers.
Yeah.
Let's not forget. Alpha, get me 5 teenagers with attitude.
Speaking of which, the fact that that was the whole point of Big Bad Beetleborgs, was to have kids turn into heroes. The whole point of having teenagers, because kids in the 90s wanted to be teenagers. Like, that was like Revolutions and all that kind of nonsense.
You know what's funny? I learned this through Phaelus, but Phaelus talked about the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yes.
And the creator of the real Ghostbusters cartoon was being interviewed about stuff. And he talked about his opinions on Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And I feel like he summarizes that whole trend in the 90s of just having a stupid kid character.
Yeah.
Where he talked about why he hates Robin, sheerly as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't agree. I like Robin. I'm a big Batman fan. And I like Batman and Robin. But like, when it comes to the trend of just adding a superfluous kid character, I agree with this guy here. He said, I love Batman because Batman was cool. But he was an adult. And I was a kid watching Batman the Animated Series. But because I'm a kid and Batman's a grown-up, I can grow up and I can be like Batman. But Robin was already cool and he was a kid. And that just makes me feel like shit because the kid's already cool, but I'm not cool.
Yeah.
And so Robin was a pain in the ass because he's already there. But it feels like he didn't have to achieve it. He's just there and he has it already.
Yeah.
But Batman, you could become Batman, but you have to be Robin.
And the thing that's funny about all of that, the kid barely does anything besides, fire hosing the parents because apparently...
And it doesn't even work.
Yeah. Also, you know who should have been the B-plot characters? Bulk and Skull, because they barely appeared in the movie.
Did they even play the Bulk and Skull theme song?
No!
Damn it. Why didn't we have... Can
we just say the music choice, aside from the original Power Rangers theme, was fucking awful?
Oh, the music in this film is so bad.
God.
It's such, like, schlock 90s music. It feels like you could put this music in, like, a shitty teen rom-com from the 90s.
Can I just say, I remember Anthony from Something Coolish pointing this out, 90s nostalgia is coming. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just dry heaved. I just threw up my mouth a little bit.
So...
Like, I was born before... I was born in 94. So I lived only in the very tail end of the 90s.
Or as much as you remember. Same
as
with
much
me.
as I remember, but the thing is, like, the 90s were still kind of lingering around in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But it's like, the issue with that is that, like, a lot of people romanticize things. And yes, fashion reciprocates and, like, a lot of, like, trends repeat.
It's a 30-year cycle.
Yeah. But, like, a lot of things is, it's not the way they remember it. They're putting on their rose-tinted glasses and changing things to make it better than it really was.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's going to be very fucking cringy.
Yeah. But the one thing about this film is just like, this didn't need to be a movie. It really didn't. It really didn't need to be a movie.
It could have just been like a TV special, like an extra long episode.
Definitely. Especially like, at least if it was a TV film, we would have gotten like some really cool suits, like some Sentai footage, or brand new Sentai footage made for America.
Or like just have some Sentai footage from the Kokai Rangers.
Speaking of Kaku Rangers. Speaking of Kaku Rangers, so they got their new animal, like spirits and Zords. They still have the same helmets. They're dinosaur helmets.
Yeah, when they do get their powers back and they morph again, they're not like a wolf, an ape, a bear. No, they're the same. They're the same.
I know the reason why. Apparently, Saban wanted to keep the original Mighty Morphin brand so hard, even when they had to use new Sentai footage and new powers throughout the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He felt like it would diminish the franchise if they changed the suit designs. That's why Zeo was such a big risk, because that's when they finally had brand new suits. But honestly, I wish they had new suits, because I actually really like the Kaku Ranger suits. But, so, 2 weeks in a row, we just had some really short episodes.
Yeah, we've kind of like gone through like, I mean, there's some other fights we can cover. Like there's like the Stone Temple Guards. The Great Power. The
Bloodborne, Dark Souls bosses.
The Dark Souls boss.
And that was alright. It's just the Stone Guards look really dumpy looking.
Yeah, again, like it feels like they had such bulky torsos and like armor, but again, it looks like their arms are so tiny.
Yeah. And they eventually got the Ultimate Power of MacGuffin issue number 182. Because, like, how many Ultimate Powers are there in Power Rangers? Because I feel like there's that, the Zeo Crystals, there's,
the coins,
all this stuff. I'm just like, Zordon.
How many Ultimate Power devices did you make?
Especially the fact it's confirmed there are older Rangers throughout history.
Yeah.
It's just like, can you ask the Samurai Rangers? Could you ask the Jungle Fury Rangers?
Yeah, could they go to RJ's Pizza Place?
Yeah. So they go to get their Zords and they fight
Or hell, just learn how to use magic, like the Mystic Force Rangers.
Seriously, like, how old is, what's her name from Mystic Force?
Like, I don't know, a couple hundred, a couple thousand.
Seriously, and she was just sitting on her ass until now.
She was just sitting in her fucking tree.
So we had
whatever her name was. Yeah. I really, like, Mystic Force gets some shit, but I like Mystic Force.
I mean, a lot of people really liked it.
Yeah.
But overall, so we're at the finale, and we got, like, what, it was like a 20-minute fight of just pure ugly CGI.
Ugh.
Like, again, like, CGI is awful, and so eventually they destroyed one of the, I forgot, the insectivores, the insectozoids, or...
Something like that.
They're like these giant bug monsters. One's like
Again,
a scorpion.
they look like insect-based dinosaurs.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want some super 90s cringe, look up the intro to Dinosaurs.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
It's kind of hilarious. It's one of those things where it gets stuck in your head and you fucking hate it because it's such a dumb song.
Yeah. But, so we actually, one thing these Zords did, other than the original Mighty Morphin Zords, at least they can fight on their own.
Yeah.
It was a lame-ass fight, but at least they can
normally
fight.
the Zords, like the animal-based Zords, don't really do fighting, and if they do, it doesn't go very well.
It's like support.
Yeah, it doesn't do very well, and then they're like, oh shit, we're getting our asses kicked. Form the Megazord!
And, like, when they formed the Megazord, one thing I had a problem with this Megazord, it's slim with the CG.
It's very slim, and I feel like that, to be totally honest, like...
If it was bulky...
I'm not a huge, like... Okay, I'm not an animator of any sort, but, like, I know some little things about it. And most likely the reason they slimmed it down so much is to prevent it from clipping into itself. Because if it was big and bulky, when it bent certain, like, appendages, it would probably clip into itself.
It still looked awful.
It's still pretty bad.
And, like, again, like, why
couldn't it just be a suit?
It would have been cheaper.
Like, just get one of the Ranger suits. Honestly, why couldn't you just, from the show, use the... Fuck, if you're gonna be this lazy, just use... Like, if you're not gonna change the Ranger suits, just use the original Megazord from Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, why not?
Or, again, like, have Toei give you... I'm sure you could have, like, hey, can you just send me the Kaku Ranger suits?
Yeah.
Or at least
give...
give...
the Kaku Ranger Zord.
Yeah,
the Megazord.
Yeah. When I say suit, I meant the Zord suit.
Yeah.
And, like... And it ends with, like, Ivan Ooze doing a really shitty CG fusion with one of the...
Yeah, like, he, like...
Fuses with one of the...
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
You remember that meme where people would, like, Photoshop stretch someone's face?
Yes!
Like, instead of moving closer, their face stretches forward to, like, get in someone else's face?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, but it's with cheap, shitty CGI. Like, he just starts stretching until he, like, hits his robot, and then he, like, fuses with it.
Yeah.
And then it grows his face.
And all they did is just grapple each other. They barely fought, except for, like, he grabbed, like, a pole.
Yeah, he uprooted, like, a build... Like, I know they're not in Seattle, but it kind of looks like a Space Needle.
Yeah, they did filming in Sydney.
Really?
Sydney, Australia, yeah.
So, like, they rip it out... I thought it was in New Zealand.
I got it mixed up.
Oh, really? It was in Australia?
Yeah, it was in Australia. Close enough.
Not New Zealand?
Yeah.
Okay. So, he, like, rips out, like, a thin building, kind of like Space Needle-looking building, and he uses it like a staff to fight. And then they, like, go into space.
For no reason.
They go into
Oh,
space.
it was because of a comet that was mentioned, like, very early in the film that you completely forget.
Yeah. They mentioned, like Bailey's Comet or something.
Billy pulled it out of his... I feel like it felt so out of nowhere. I thought Billy literally pulled it out of his ass.
Like, it just got farted out at some point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a comet. And, yeah, so they barely fight. They grapple for a bit, like the world's most boring wrestling match. The Megazord kicks Ivan in the dick, and then they throw him into the comet.
And that's it. Like,
and then it blows up.
And that's pretty much the
And
movie.
it's a very Star Wars explosion, where it's like there's the explosion and, like, all the rings come out.
Yeah. That's the thing about this movie. It really could have just been, like, an extended episode of Power Rangers, or, like, a two-parter.
Like, genuinely, yeah, it kind of could have been, like, a 2 to 3 part special just on TV.
And it's just, like...
It's kind of lame.
Other than that, like, yeah, this movie was rough. It's lame.
It is aged like milk.
Yeah. So, Cole, do you want to give your rating?
Okay. So my rating might be a little weird. I feel that though it is aged very poorly, and it does have some positive bits to it. Like, it has some good funny moments. The choreography's not too bad. I'm gonna give it, but, like, I feel like at the same time, like, it probably did a lot for the franchise.
Yeah.
Even though, like, it was big, it was in theaters.
It was basically when the Power Rangers was like, yeah, we're mainstream motherfuckers.
Yeah, and like, I feel like there was probably a bunch of Power Rangers fans that were introduced from this movie.
Me.
So, I feel like I can't ignore its importance to the genre for American Power Rangers fans.
Yeah.
So, I feel, but, like, because of its shortcomings and because it like, a lot of it is crap.
Yeah.
But I feel for its importance. I'm going to go right in the middle of the road. I'm going to give this 2.5 missed tragedies out of 5.
I actually was going to give it a 2.5 as well. 2.5.
Right.
I'm going to give it 2.5 Ivan oozes canisters out of 5.
I'm going to do a 2.5 jars of ooze out of 5.
Yeah. All right, so this is our first time with Power Rangers, and we're going to do better stuff, I promise you guys. So this is Chris.
I am still Sarah McLachlan in a fat suit.
And this is GargantuaCast, signing out.
Hey, thank you for listening to this new episode of GargantuaCast. Please subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to your podcast. We're updated bi-weekly on Mondays. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow GargantuaCast on Twitter for news and updates, discussions on the latest episodes, or just chat with us, because I like to chat. And we all know Kaiju fans like to talk. Please visit the GargantuaCast Patreon page. GargantuaCast is an independent project, and as such, all equipment and research materials come out of pocket. Any support you give is appreciated and get rewarded along the way, such as merch, voting on the next episode topic, and be part of the monthly raffle for Kaiju goodies. And see you guys on the next episode.